Hey everybody, this is Ian. I'm the owner of Timber Pointe Home Inspection. Today we're doing a window replacement inspection for Ecoline windows in the community of Hawkwood. What we have here are wood frame windows. This house was most likely built in the late 80s, early 90s. The actual functionality of the window, it'll still keep out the wind and rain and bugs and all that kind of stuff, but there is this aesthetic defect to it where you can no longer see clearly out the window. Also, with seal failure, it will also reduce the efficiency of the window. So we're going to head inside and we'll have a look at some windows that are being taken out. You just can't get it warm enough, or if you had air conditioning going, keep the cold in. As opposed to its losing, because you got to maximize what you're getting into those rooms. So right now I'm just inspecting the original window that's still in place while we have the casings off. You can see that this window's got a broken outside pane, so I'm just looking for any signs of real water damage in the past. There's a little bit of staining here on the drywall, but that's mostly just from condensation. These ones look okay, so we'll go have a look where the window's been removed. The window's been fully removed now. So what I'd like to do is just put a level on the sill and just make sure that it has a nice slope away from the house. That way any water that was to get back in would eventually just drain out. There's no signs of any real water damage or rot, which is great. These windows are fairly exposed to the elements. Original window that's still installed. With the wood window, this is installed with a brick mold style, so this is where you're screwing in fastening the window along the wood frame, as opposed to a nailing fin installation where in new construction with a vinyl window, there's basically a fin that goes all the way around the window, and you secure that in with a specific type of nail. If you were to do a nailing fin installation, that would involve cutting into the stucco, installing the new window in place, and then having to patch that stucco around the window. And it's very hard to match the color. So if we were to disturb that by cutting into it, we might actually increase the risk of leaks in the future. So this is why we're going to do a brick mold installation. We put our flashing on, and then we can see that the window opening is still good. We've got no signs of any water penetration issues. So once that flashing in, then we'll be ready to install the window and shim it and screw it into place. We just installed one of the newer windows, so you can see that it's been shimmed into place along the bottom, and then on the sides it's been shimmed and fastened into place. And once that's in place, then we'll apply a foam sealant, so that just prevents any air leakage, or sprayed in the foam sealant. And what he's doing is just lightly packing the foam back into the gap, not making sure to press too hard into the opening. The technician now is reinstalling the old wood trim that was requested by the client. In other instances, we might put on a new PVC trim, stick our level on, looks nice and level, and head up to the side, and nice and plumb. You can have a look at it, open up the locking mechanism, give it a test. It's nice and smooth. The hardware itself, it's actually quite heavy duty, and I've done plenty of window inspections where the crank itself will just snap off, the locking mechanism will just break. Another advantage to these new vinyl windows, specifically the ones that Ecoline have installed today, it has a PVC inside. Very steady hand. There's no way I could do anything like that. It's pretty tricky stuff today up on a ladder like that. So another thing is the drip cap that's on the top of the window, which is that metal flashing. That helps prevent any water that gets in behind the window from allowing it to drain out the top, as opposed to getting in behind the opening itself. That drip cap was installed on this older window. It's still here. and we're gonna leave that in place. So we're just finishing up our window inspection here of the replacement windows performed by Ecoline today. Everything looks good. We've had a look at the older windows and why the reasons we were replacing them. We looked at the flashing that was installed. We make sure that the sill is in good shape. There's no water damage or any sort of deterioration to the existing frames. We watched the installers put the new windows in, put the foam insulation around, make sure that it's nicely installed. There's no opportunities for any air leakages. And then we watched the installers also seal up the outside of the windows, and everything looks good. I'm satisfied with what I've seen today, and we'll see you at the next house.
We moved to Calgary about a year ago and purchased this house. And throughout the house inspection process, and just by being in the house, we realized that the windows weren't in the best shape. So we were at Costco. We go to Costco often, and we saw that they had an advertisement with Ecoline windows. So we called them, and we called 2 or 3 other companies also. But we really thought that the representative that came from Ecoline was the nicest. He was very thorough. He spent a lot of time with us explaining the process. When they came to do the installation, we were really surprised because we had been warned by relatives and other friends that had this done that it would be 3 or 4 days, there would be a lot of damage, there would be a lot of mess, and really there was none. They came at one day, it was done in one day. They came just after 8 in the morning.
27 windows.
27 windows. They left no mess. They cleaned up everything. The people that came were all really nice. They were very respectful. And as the job started nearing completion, my husband actually started cleaning up, like went to get the vacuum. And by the time he brought it back, like they had already started cleaning. Like there was no mess outside. Or inside. They'd vacuumed everything, cleaned everything. They even cleaned the windows before they left. The windows are beautiful. We're so happy with them. Yeah, they came in almost like military style. Like everybody just dispersed, started doing, and we just were amazed how efficient it was. One thing that we really like about these windows is how easy it is to operate them. You know, there's locks on them. The representative was really good at explaining how they work. Although, you know, they're fairly intuitive. We've been very happy.